everybody. Hello, all of you young piano players, well, young and old. My name is Miss Emily with EBN Music, and I'm your piano teacher today. If this is your first time here, welcome. I teach piano lessons to young kids, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Sorry, I have that too high up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and come back on Fridays at 11:30 a.m. You do not have to come here live, but I try to do these live every now and then, a lot of weeks in a row. So you can join me live or you can just watch later. If you can't watch it live, that's totally fine. If you are on social media, follow me at EBN Music everywhere, except for Instagram. There's a dot in there, EBN.music. So follow me there. And of course, YouTube here at EBN Music. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, EBN Music. I don't have that here, but yeah, so join me on all those. Thank you so much for being here. So today, oh, and one more thing. So be sure I wrote 2 books for kids on how to play piano. So I wrote the green book, and I don't have the purple one around here with me right now, but I also wrote a purple book. The green book is the lesson book. The purple book is the sheet music book, and it has all kinds of nursery rhymes and folk songs that are really easy to play for kids. So once you go through this book, you're ready for the purple book. Or really, you can just buy the purple book by itself or just buy the green book by itself, whichever one you want to do. And on here on my YouTube channel, I go over the first lesson in this book, my first piano lessons. And in the purple book, I went through 4 different songs in that book, how to play them. So be sure to check those out, all right? Really cool. And be sure to buy the book at ebnmusic.com/books. Order it today. Speaking of that, today, our lesson today is going to be a little bit of lesson 4 in my first piano lessons. Last time, one of the last lessons I did was about steps and skips on the staff. And I'm going to go into a little more detail about the staff today. So once you watch this video, go back and watch the steps and skips video too, because it's all related. This one's going to be a little shorter. We're just going to go through some music theory and do a little practice at the end together. So are you ready to learn some music today? Awesome, let's do it. Okay. Guys and gals, this right here, this is called the staff. The music staff, this is how we read music. It's kind of like the alphabet, right? The music staff has 5 lines in each clef. So if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's 5 lines in this beautiful Miss treble clef. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines in Mr. bass clef. So you've got 5 lines that a note can be written on, but notes can also be written between the lines. Notes can be written in the spaces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 spaces in Miss treble clef and in Mr. bass clef. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces. Notes can be written anywhere. Notes can also be written above here or below here. All we have to do is just draw this little bitty line here. If we want to make a note that's really low, that's going to go all the way down here. If we want a note that sounds really high, that's going to be all the way up here, and we're going to have to draw a little line because the staff can't be unlimited lines, right? We have to draw these little lines here. Do not worry about those little lines. I just wanted to mention that. There's one note that we play a whole bunch that does have a ledger line, and it's right in the middle of Miss Treble and Mr. Bass Clef. We're going to talk more about him in a second. But for now, I want you to see the blue notes are all on a line. Think of it as a line going through its head. I usually go line, space, line, space. And they alternate. You see that? Line, space, line, space, line, space. You get the idea. They alternate. So if I went from a line to a line to a line, I've just skipped something, right? I've skipped that note there in the middle. I've skipped a space. But if I went line, space, that's just a little step. That goes back to the video I did last week. So for right now, just know that a note is on a line or in a space. Okay, get out your hands. I want you to hold your hand like the letter L. Make an L for line. And then the sign language for S is kind of like this, a fist. Okay, so I want you to make a fist and then an L. All right, so if you think a note is on a line, we're going to do an activity here. So if you think it's on a line, I want you to give me the L. If you think it's in a space, I want you to give me the S. Okay, so here's our activity. I'm going to play a note here, and I want you to tell me, so there's our beautiful Miss Treble and Mr. Bass Clef, and I want you to tell me, is this on a line or in a space? Okay, let's try this one first. Yes, if you did this, that was a trick. That was a trick. It's not space, is it? It's that. It's on a line, right? Good job. So if you said L, you were right. Give yourself a point. All right, so let's do another one. How about this one? Oh, here, I'll try to play the note a little louder. It's in a space, right? It's between the lines. Great job. All right, let's do another one. That's another space note in Mr. Bass Clef. Nice job. How about this one? Yes, that's on a line. Great job. Let's do two more. Ooh. Maybe that tricked you. Did that trick you? If you're stuck, look in the middle of the note, and is there a line that's between it? Is there a small line? Is it the big line? Or is there no line? That's a space, right? There's no line on that note. Great job. That was a tricky one. So I'll give you, so here's another tricky one. This one's in Mr. Bass Clef. Okay, so look in the middle of the note. It's really low, but it's got the tiny little line, the ledger line. So that's an L. Great job, guys. Okay, we're going to use two hands now. I'm going to give you two notes. All right. How about this one and this one? I'll use this for the bass clef, that's a space note. And then you've got the treble clef, that's a line note. Great job, guys. How did you do with that? Was that pretty easy? Usually kids, gotta go back to my face. Sorry about that. Usually kids can get that pretty good. You know, we can tell if it's on a space or a line, space or line. The tricky part is knowing how far apart these guys are. So let's do a little practice on that. So let's come back to our classroom maestro, and then let's do a little simple, and I did this in the steps and skips video too, all right? So if I were to take this line, but this space, I didn't skip any note, right? I went right from this line to this space. Line, space. And also look at the keyboard there. You see the notes are right next to each other. And that's a step. But if I kept this note, you look at that. I went from a space to another space. But that meant I skipped the line in between them. And look at the keyboard. That's a skip. This is a great time. You can keep going on this video, but you can go and watch the steps and skips video for more information on steps and skips there. So before we leave this, I know this is really short. I should have done this lesson first before the steps and skips. But now I want you, it's always good to recognize them, spaces and lines, but now we get to draw them. How many of you like to draw? I am not a good artist, but I like to draw. I've learned, my husband's taught me a little bit. So let's say that you just have a piece of paper, or if you have a whiteboard and a marker, you can go get that. So I'll wait for a little bit while you go get it. And I know this is live, so there's not much time, but you can always pause this if you're watching later. Okay, so take your piece of paper, and I want you to draw let's just make it short. We're going to draw 5 straight lines. We're going to try to make them kind of far apart so we can see them pretty good. This is our little staff right here. Okay, so when you draw your notes, remember just a little quick review. A note can look many different ways, right? So it's a quick quarter note, half note, whole note, longest. Let's practice doing the whole note first, then we're going to turn it in to all of these. So we're going to draw a whole note. Now I have a little trick on how to draw notes on a line. So don't do this right now. Don't copy me, just watch for right now. This is what a lot of us want to do. We just want to draw a circle and hope it ends up on the line, right? Like that. Like that. But let's try to be a little more accurate. And I'm going to give you a trick on how to do that. Let me fix my lines real quick. Okay, so now you can copy me. Ready? Let's go on line number 3, right in the middle. I want you to draw just a little rainbow, a half circle. Just like that, on top of the line. Great job. Once you do that, you're going to come underneath and draw the smiley face. That is a much more accurate way to draw your notes on a line. Why don't you do that on every single line? Okay, so do that with me. I'll do it on line 1, line 2, and it's okay if they're not, in a straight line. Mine are kind of like this. We already did line 3, so there's line 4, and then line 5. So remember, draw your rainbow first, and then your smiley face underneath it. How do your notes look? Are they looking really good? Those are all on the lines. By the way, those are skips, right? Because we didn't draw any in the spaces. Line, 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 5 lines. And just for fun, why don't you pick a space? The space ones are easy to draw. Just start at the very top and be sure it fills up the whole space there. Of course, sheet music is going to be a lot more even, but okay. So then now we did our whole note. How do we turn it into a half note? All we do is we draw a straight line up, sort of like you're writing the lowercase d. Lowercase d. I know some of us get our D's and B's mixed up, right? But let's turn all of these into half notes. That one is a little sideways. Woo, nice job. I bet your notes are looking pretty good. And now all we have to do to turn it into a quick quarter note, all we have to do is fill in the circle. So let's fill in all of our circles to make it a quarter note. Do, 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 do. Doesn't have to be perfect. Some of us are perfectionists, right? We want to get it exactly right. Look at that. You just drew your first music staff, your first notes. And you drew it accurately on the lines and in a space, one of the spaces. Yay! If you did this, be sure to take a picture and send it to your mom or dad and maybe have them tag me on social media. Let me see your drawings of your notes there. Awesome. So a little review today. We learned about the staff and that the staff has lines and spaces. And notes can be written on a line or a space. And we learned how to draw the notes on the staff. That was fun. Great job. Virtual high five. Pew. Nice job, guys. All right. Once again, go by. Ask mom and dad. Go by My First Piano Lessons, ebnmusic.com/books. We just did kind of a combo of lesson 4 and lesson 5, kind of. But your friend G Sharp is going to walk you through a lot of that. This is G Sharp. He's your new piano friend. He's going to walk you through a lot of what Miss Emily just did with you today. Put G Sharp. G Sharp is kind of lazy. He doesn't want to stay upright, so I'm going to lay him on the ball there. And yes, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel and join me next Friday. We are going to be learning how to play a song. And sometimes these go a little fast, but I'm going to make a huge effort to go a little slower, and let's learn the song super slow. And this song's from the Barbie movie, the Dua Lipa song. So come back next week and join me for that. All right, make beautiful music this week, and thank you for joining me. Goodbye to you. See you next time. I forgot to mention my shirt looks like a music staff, doesn't it? Bye, guys. I'll see you next time.